Hey you are finally awake. It is time.
Time for what?
Time for you to continue your journey. You must leave the village. I have taught you all I can. You have great power. You have great opportunity. You must go to the old forest to study with the old mage. He will help you continue your journey. One day you will help bring the four nations back into peace.
What is happening?
It is time for you to go. I can't take care of you anymore. Take this and go to the old forest. Find the old mage. Ruin you, fool. Blood, oil, gold, brains. Long ago, the four nations lived together in harmony. Then everything changed when the famine arrived. The farms along the river used to feed the cities and allow them to grow. People had leisure time that they used to develop high arts and science. But after 3,000 years of incredible abundance, the soil couldn't keep up and became less fertile. The military could not be fed, war broke out, and the armies tried to plunge each other's nations for resources. As trade suffered, the metal stopped flowing, tools broke down, hunger and disease swept the land, big empires broke into primitive villages, people forgot how to read and write, how to craft, how to fight disease, life became simpler and harder. 5 cities endured in the chaos, at least for the moment. Your grandparents were good people, educated. They fought for reason, order and peace. They were great leaders. They gave people what they wanted, safety, food, and a promise of glory and better days. They had the support of the people, and with this source of hard work they tried to rebuild, to farm new lands, to tap new resources for the making of clothes and tools, new building techniques. They worked out new alliances with their surviving cities. For a few decades the city endured. For a moment it even seemed that the golden times were coming back. And then they were wiped out. It is not known who did it. Strange people came from the sea in ships, dressed in blue. They did horrible things. They took some women as prisoners and stole any treasure they could find. They killed everybody else and set fire to all the beautiful homes. Nothing was left. Your grandparents were strong. They stood their ground and fought valiantly until the end. They saved the life of a lot of people, including your parents. Your parents escaped and managed to hide from some time, living a simple life. But one day they came for them too. They gave their life to save you. You were very small, but you remember, don't you? Your parents died in this disaster. Bandits raid villages every day, and only luck keep us safe. The world is in decay. Only 4 cities still stand. They are strong, and even now they have abundance. But for how long? One day you will continue the work of your family. You will be a leader. The people will love you, and you will have their support, because you will give them the peace and prosperity they seek. You will be powerful and dominant. You will crush your enemies. You will study and practice. You will search for knowledge and experience. You will have excellent mentors. You will master skills and wisdom. You will have high ability. You will be what you were always meant to be and fulfill your potential. You will rule, unite the people, and bring order back. You will create an empire, and no one will hurt your family ever again.
I will create an empire, and no one will hurt my family ever again.
To rebuild a prosperous city and arm it, I needed manpower. I had to visit villages in the region and create followers. People are motivated by safety and a promise of glory, of better days. But they would only listen to me if they had proof my ideas resulted in a benefit for them. I had to help each village. To build good faith, I needed to learn a way to be useful. Before tonight, the plan was that the old mage would help me continue my education. Seemed like a good place to start. I had to cross the forest to the next village and find him. First I ran away from the danger, then I started walking, as the darkness of the forest became absolute. I was far away enough, hidden. A forest is very dangerous in the dark. Trip over a branch or suddenly fall and you are done, stuck in nowhere. I took out my necklace and with an effort of will made it glow. It was also probably a good idea to get dressed. Hypothermia was a real danger this time of year, and it would protect me from scratches, which was enough. This forest didn't have big predators like wolves or bears. I put on my pants, a heavy shirt, and leather boots. Then I walked and walked. Looking up, I could see grey clouds covering the sky for miles. I was lost. People here didn't know about magnets, so I didn't have a compass. I needed to find direction some other way. Hours passed, and then I came to a clearing. A big owl was perched on the branch of the lone oak in the middle of the clearing, and a little fox stood on a rock next to the oak. Hello owl and hello fox, I'm looking for the village settled in this forest. It should be somewhere east from here. Could you please point me in the right direction? Thank you.
Hoo-hoo. Hello, Graham. I can tell you what happened. Hoot. I know what happened to your village. I said it all. Yes, I did. Graham. Who?
My name is not Graham, but I would like to know what happened to my village if you can tell me. And I need your help, Mr. Owl. How many leagues away is the village north from here and exactly in which direction?
Who? I'm happy to tell you, Graham, but I need your help. Something terrible has happened. Who? Quick, I need your help, Graham. Do this for me. I will guide you to the village. Who?
I ask a stranger for directions, instead of just telling me they want to force me to do something in exchange. It's rude, ridiculous, dangerous. But then I remembered my lessons. I was taught how careful you need to be dealing with either noble or deprived, and a wild animal probably didn't own more than the meat he carried in its bones. In rough scarcity, people didn't even want to answer each other's questions. That was my situation now. I was not angry anymore. There was no fault in the owl, but that didn't mean I shouldn't be careful. This was a negotiation. What do you want me to do exactly?
Who? There are holes in the ground. I want you to fill them with soil. Hoot, because they have to be filled. Small holes, easy work. Walk to them, fill them, and I will guide you.
I remember my lessons. I was taught how to negotiate. There were a bunch of steps. What were they? I remembered at least 3. Why do you want to fill the holes? One was something about creating space for yourself. That way you could take the right action instead of reacting out of emotion. Asking clarifying questions is one way to do it. It gives you time to think.
Fill the holes. Yes, who? Because who? I hunt mice. Yes, humans hate greedy mice, and they use the holes to escape. Winter is coming and I need to hunt a big juicy rat before it's too late. With these escaped holes, I have not been able to hunt. Who?
You also need to know your best alternative. You can walk away from the deal if it's worse than your best alternative. Know when you will say no. I could walk until I got out of the forest, find a road and get to the wizard's village. Lose 2 or 3 days, maybe die of thirst, maybe get there after the green bandits, if they haven't already. If the owl guided me, I could be there in a few hours. The other important thing was making the pie bigger before dividing it. The perspective of big future benefits would ease the negotiation. What could I add to the deal that would benefit either of us for no extra effort? My mind was blank. I slowly became aware that I was cold, anxious, sad, and exhausted after the adrenaline rush of a few hours ago. My brain was not very creative at the moment, and I also didn't have experience I could rely upon. I couldn't think of anything. I accept. The burrows that need to be filled, where are they? Okay, I skipped that last negotiation step. I would do things badly just this time. I just wanted to get going.
In a small clearing right next to this one. That way. Fill them and come back. Thank you, my friend.
I would be taking sides against the mice, but they were a plague that ate crops, so it didn't bother me. I just hoped the owl didn't flew away after I finished the job, but he had no reason to make enemies. The small clearing had small holes and mounds of dirt next to them. I walked to the closest one. I could drag dirt with my boot to fill it, but why bother? I focused. 1 hole plus 1 pile of dirt equals no hole and no pile of dirt. The pile of wet dirt slid smoothly and fell into the hole. Simple enough, and faster than the alternative. I walked to another hole. I took a deep breath. 200 piles of dirt plus 300 holes equal 100 holes. Dirt fell into the hole, filling it. I took a couple of steps to the next hole. 7 anti-holes equal 7 piles of dirt. Another hole 8 dirt. I walked to the next one. As I stepped to the hole, something pushed me in the back of the knee, and I tripped. My foot went into the small hole at an awkward angle, and I sprained my ankle. Pain. I immediately took it out and looked around, standing on the other foot. Nothing. Stillness. Without other options, I limped back to the oak, expecting a confrontation, and making a guess. Hey, your little friend here just pushed me, explain yourself. A second of ambiguous silence passed in which the owl didn't react. Then, for the first time, he turned his head and looked directly at me, his empty eyes wide open with the stare of a carnivore.
Oh, watch out, Graham. I will eat you. Hoot. I will carve your rotten flesh and consume you. Hoo. You will never leave the forest. We are going to kill you.
Stay tuned for episode 2, Flower Path, Exponents. Link in the comments. Fucking owl.